Welcome to the MWR podcast at Fort Carson.
Welcome to the MWR podcast. I'm here today with Stephanie Gelati, our school liaison officer with CYS. And today we're talking about starting off kindergarten. And I admit, I'm that mom, I'm nervous. And so I'm realizing, okay, well, enrollment starts now. What criteria do I have to start looking for? Time frame, and also more locally, the MIC3 program. Can you explain all of that information?
Yes, absolutely. Most school districts use a cutoff date to establish if a child is eligible for kindergarten for that school year. And Colorado is no different. Most of the school districts in the area, the child has to be 5 on or before October 1st. There are a few districts in the area that don't follow that, but for the most part, October 1st is the date, and that's not flexible. Even if your child's birthday is just a few days before, generally there's not an exception process to start them early. Those dates are there for a reason. There's always going to be kids that turn 5 right before, and they're just going to have to wait. But that's okay. Those cutoff dates, as I said, are set for a reason, and they generally are not negotiable.
Yeah, finding that out.
Yes. So as a military family, it's vital for you to be aware of the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission, and it's often called MIC3.
Okay.
MIC3 was developed in 2006 to ease the education challenges that military children encounter. Their vision is to help in making successful education transitions for military children, ages preschool through high school. The compact allows for uniform treatment as military children transfer between schools. This compact only applies to public schools and Department of Defense schools. And this is a compact that is recognized in all 50 states and the DoD school system. And it's things like, military children, associated children, they move 6 to 9 times if their parent is in the military from preschool to 12th grade. So this covers things like kindergarten entrance age, which we just talked about. If you meet the cutoff here and your child starts kindergarten here, even if they're only here for a week or two, and you say PCS to Fort Polk or Fort Drum or something somewhere else that has a different cutoff date and they don't meet that cutoff date.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They're going to grandfather them in as long as they started school, and that's just for more seamless transitions for them. That would be a real bummer for the child and the family to start kindergarten, go for 2 weeks, 2 months, a semester, and then move to an installation where their birth date doesn't meet the cutoff. So if your child has started, if they meet the eligibility birthday, and they start kindergarten, if you PCS soon after that, they'll be able to continue on in kindergarten.
That's really good to know, because, with my oldest from Fort Polk to her starting kindergarten in Virginia, I didn't know any of that information.
Right.
And thankfully, I didn't have any issues. Their deadline was earlier than the other, so
it didn't happen in that order.
Yeah, so it was a relief, but had that happened, I'd be like, oh my gosh.
And as I said, all states are in the compact, so they are obligated to follow it. Okay. And other things that are, just things that are applicable to highly mobile students, like kindergarten entrance age, like transferring credits when you're in high school. So credit reciprocity, and staying on track for graduation as far as credits. Those kind of things are covered, as well as special programs. If your child tested in or was identified as gifted and they entered a gifted and talented program here in Colorado, and then you moved, that gaining school system, that gaining school needs to let that child if there's a program that exists, enter that program. Now, they can always reserve the right to reevaluate if it's not a good fit. But again, more seamless transitions, and they shouldn't be, something taken away if we can help it, that they already qualified for or they already were a part of, just because they have to move.
Yeah, no, that's really good to know, because I always considered, okay, well, moving to different states have different educational systems, and you fear that slide back. So that's good to know that there's a support system to move forward, not backwards.
There is a support system. The compact is legally binding. It's recognized by all 50 states and Department of Defense education activities. The Commission has a responsibility to ensure that the compact and its governing rules are applied and upheld by all member states and their local school districts. And that's important to know, because if you do run into a school district, some school districts don't have as many, your family might be a military family living in that district, but maybe there's not a huge population.
Yeah.
They might not know about the compact because it's nothing they've ever had to deal with before.
Yeah.
And parents can certainly educate the school, the principal, the counselors about the compact, and so can school liaison officers. And we get calls relatively regularly about a credit transfer, graduation requirement, a special program or something like that, where the school doesn't know they're not complying with what the child actually is covered by in the compact. And so I'll give a call over to the school, let them know where I can direct them to the compact, and it usually works out just fine. If there is an issue that we can't resolve just by the educators and the school system being aware and reading through the compact, we have a commissioner and for the state, and he is actually local here in Colorado Springs. If we have to have a discussion with him or send an issue up or a problem, we can certainly do that, and we can get resolution on more complicated matters that the compact may or may not cover.
Yeah, no, that's really great, because, you think, being a military family, oh, you're always going to be near installations. That's not the case. Sometimes you're on ROTC duty, recruiting duty, and you're moving your family around to any other town that's not used to, like you said, dealing with military I wouldn't say obligations, but helping the military family specifically with these
issues.
Yeah.
It's all about these transitions, and that's what school liaison officers are all about. That's our mission, is to be a driving force in student success, because we know military-connected students, Army-connected students transition so many times.
Yeah.
Grown-ups don't like transition or change, and children really, they are very resilient, but they can be more resilient and less disrupted with their education if these things that are put into place, we can actually use them and utilize them.
Right.
If parents are interested in more information on the compact, you would go to www.mic3.net.
Okay, cool. And just had a quick thought about that. Say you've already moved. But would you, call the liaison officer in your previous location to help you moving forward, or contact a local liaison?
Well, ideally, when you're leaving one installation, you have contact with that school liaison officer. If you have any questions about transferring school records, any school-related transition issue, that's generally when we try to do a warm handoff and give them all of the information for the school liaison officer at their next duty station. And they don't know just about the schools on the post, just like me and my coworker. We have to know things about the schools on the post as well as the larger community. So they will have information on if there are on-post schools, what that means. Are there DoD schools? Is it a public school? And they'll have information about the surrounding districts outside the gates. So you can do both, but if you get to your installation, your new installation, and you have questions, comments, concerns, just don't know what the rules are or how to get started with registering for school, you can always seek out the school liaison through CYS at that installation.
That's great to know. honestly, personally didn't even realize you guys had as much helpful information as you do. So definitely.
Yes. We are your first stop for any issues associated with transitioning for your school-age children, or issues with the compact. So yeah, I mean, we're here and ready to be utilized, and I can give out our contact information at the end. You're welcome to call us or email us, and I'll let you know where the location is. And yeah, we're here to help.
Okay. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing all that information, and we love having you on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.